Welcome to Food City Friday here in the Daytime Kitchen. We've got Chef Tony Mammarella with us today, and we're talking about something I think it's pretty universal in the food world, and that's ranch dressing.
It is.
I remember the very first time I ever saw ranch dressing.
It's funny, ranch dressing has been around for a while, and
Yeah.
ranch just became the #1 condiment in the United States.
Really?
From what I understand, I'm pretty sure it just passed ketchup.
I started to say ketchup had to be #1.
Yeah, it's pretty popular.
Because
So.
I think a lot of people substitute ranch now for things that they used, like French fries and things like that they used ketchup
Pizza
for.
and spaghetti and everything
Oh yeah,
else in the world.
if you could dip it, ranch is the way to go. So.
It is, and truthfully, ranch is a lot simpler than everybody thinks.
Right.
Ranch basically starts out with your spice cabinet.
Right.
Everything you need is in most of our spice cabinets, and that makes it pretty universal. The nice part about ranch is you can do it fresh or you can do it dried.
Okay.
I like to do dried because I like to keep it in my cabinet for when I'm quick or in a hurry.
Right.
And then I like to do what we're going to do today is we're going to make the dry one and we're going to add a few fresh ingredients to it.
Nice.
Just kind of amp it up a
Just
little
kind of freshen it up a little bit.
Waking it up a
All
little
right, well, how do we get started?
So basically we have a bowl, and in our bowl we have our minced onions.
I'm going to turn this up just
That's
a little
fine.
bit so folks can see.
We have some diced parsley, dried, some dill,
Right.
and some chives. We're going to add a little bit of garlic powder.
Okay.
We'll do onion powder,
All right.
salt and pepper. It's really a pretty simple recipe, kind of a pretty simple way to go. And then with those ingredients,
And you didn't put a whole lot of salt in there.
it's very little.
Yes.
And you can use salt however you need to,
Right.
or however you want to. If you want to omit it, you can. But it's a good way to kind of start. And we're just going to mix everything together and then work from there. So this dried mix,
Yes.
because it's all dried spices,
Yes.
basically goes in a mason jar and sits in your cabinet until you need it.
Okay. And you can just make as much of this as you want, really, and just keep it
Absolutely.
around.
It's a very simple recipe. It's 2 tablespoons of everything except the salt and pepper.
Okay. I'm going to tilt that back so folks can see that mixture now. So there you go.
We can literally leave that mixture in the cabinet in a mason jar
Right.
20, 30 days
All
and
right.
use it as you go.
Okay.
Some of the other favorites that aren't salads or dressings or typical, roasted potatoes.
Right.
Just take some
Oh, yeah.
potatoes, slice them down, sprinkle it on there with a little bit of olive oil or butter, throw them in the oven and roast it.
And you were talking about bringing chicken wings. If you're frying chicken wings, just bring those right out of the oil and everything, and sprinkle some ranch powder on them.
The hotter those chicken wings are coming out of the grease, the
Yeah.
better that ranch powder will stick to them.
That
and
sounds
freshen will be.
amazing. So we're going to put some fresh ingredients in there.
We are, and the fresh ingredients are the same as the dried. So if you want to make this completely fresh and you don't want
Okay.
to use the dry ingredients, you would just substitute from fresh dill.
Okay.
We would substitute our onions. We'll just keep mixing together. We have some fresh garlic because, well, everything in the world
Everything
needs garlic.
needs some garlic in it, yes.
Right? And then we have our green onions or chives. Right? Now, in a quick situation, if you're at home and you're going to use this immediately,
Okay.
I would tell you to throw it all in a blender.
All right.
That blender will help get all those
It'll
flavors worked out
emulsify
together.
it, yeah.
The only downside to that is you really got to use it quick because the
Yeah.
more you break down those vegetables, the more they're
Right,
break down.
right.
With this, you have a day or two to kind of work with it and use it, but it gets that same
So you're just
texture and
blending it
mixture. We're
together.
just mixing it all together.
Right.
So once you have this, like I said, you can use it for a whole bunch of different applications. You can mix it with chicken, potatoes,
Oh, and it smells amazing.
salad, whatever you're looking to do with
It
it.
smells so good.
Keeps it pretty simple and it makes it really, really easy to work with.
So now we're going to turn it into ranch dressing.
We're going to turn it into ranch dressing.
Right.
Okay. So we have a separate bowl with us. In our bowl, we basically have mayonnaise and sour cream. And ranch dressing is mayonnaise, sour cream, and then buttermilk.
Buttermilk.
Okay.
Good old
buttermilk
buttermilk.
ranch is kind of what we're going for.
Absolutely.
And that tang is really what you're looking for and what we're trying
Right.
to wake up with as we're going.
Yes. That little acidic edge to it. Yes.
The beauty to this is if you love ranch, you can put as much as you possibly want. If you're learning how to love ranch, you can back it off just a little bit and kind of blend it down a tiny bit. I know
All right.
both sides of that. So
Okay.
we're literally going to take about a 1/4 cup of our powdered seasonings.
Okay.
And we're going to add it to 8 ounces of mayonnaise, 8 ounces of sour cream. And then we're just going to add a little bit of our buttermilk to it until we get a consistency that we want.
Okay.
Now, I know that people are very adamant about their ranch and how thick they like their ranch or
Yes,
how
some
thin
people-
they like their
yes.
ranch. So making it yourself is a great opportunity for you to use exactly what you're looking for.
And you've
to
almost
get
got
that
the
flavor.
consistency of a good like chip dip there.
Basically,
Yes.
this is a chip dip. And then from that, you can see we have a
Yes.
pretty consistent thickness.
Right.
And we'll just take our buttermilk and we'll thin it down a little bit.
Right.
But it really adds a different tang to it.
Absolutely, yes.
If you were going to use this as a chip dip,
Mm-hmm.
something I found on shelves the other day, I didn't even realize existed.
Right.
Ranch powder.
Okay.
Or not ranch powder, I'm sorry, buttermilk powder.
Buttermilk powder. I didn't know it existed either, like dehydrated buttermilk.
It's literally in a can.
Right.
It's with the cornstarch and the baking soda and a baking powder.
Right.
But it's literally powdered buttermilk that you can add to this, and you still get that same tang and that same consistency without having to have the moisture in it.
And Tony, we got about a minute left here. So you were going to show us a great wedge salad that you could throw together really quickly.
We can. We're just going to take our plate. We'll put it right in the center.
Out of the way here.
We'll take one of our salad wedges and we'll keep it slightly to the back.
All right.
We have our ranch.
Yes.
And we're actually just going to pour that right over our salad.
We'll move this bacon right here so folks can see that a little bit better, Tony.
A little bit or a lot, as much as we need to make that work.
Love that, yes.
And then basically we can add whatever else we're looking for. I like some diced tomatoes. So we'll put them on top. We have some sweet and spicy peppers. I'm going to put them off to the side. So if you like them, you can add them. If you don't, they're there. Some sliced red pepper or sliced red onions. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Gives that same kind of look and feel to it.
Right.
We have some egg wedges.
Right.
Really, it's just about what you like and what you have and what you can add to it.
And it gets you a little more protein in there.
It does. We even have a little bit of our smoked salmon. So if you wanted to have it as an actual protein
just elevate
dish,
it even more. Yes.
we can make sure that we added a little bit to it, and it's really just about what we have and what we're kind of working with to go with. We could take
that beautiful salad.
A sprig of fresh dill
and garnish it.
And we can get us a pretty
look at that
right salad. Pretty simple. It didn't take us but a few seconds.
That is a thing of beauty right there. Chef Tony, thank you so much for coming by today, sharing that with us.
No problem.
I think that is something that all of us can do in the kitchen. And folks, if you want to find out more about everything that you've seen here on this table today and what Tony's talking about, great recipes, deals, you name it, they've got it at foodcity.com.